Marvel Studios' She-Hulk Attorney-at-Law has some smashing visual effects, which is why I'm speaking with VFX supervisor Shannon Justison and Dottie Enerson. Hey folks! All right, let's jump in. Now, there are some unbelievable visual effects in the series. What was the most interesting thing about working on the series?
I think the most interesting thing for doing the VFX for a show like this is that we have a CG lead, and that has never been done in a Marvel television show before because it's a little crazy.
I mean, it's a huge show. There are digital humans involved, so you're creating something using a lot of input data and a lot of performance capture, but ultimately it's a CG creation that's going to be acting alongside actual human actors.
It was all about making sure that we had everything in place to get the best performance recorded so that we could deliver on a She-Hulk character that represented Tatiana's acting.
Still in control, no overwhelming feelings of rage.
No, a normal amount of rage.
So you know, walking into that room, you were gonna have a fully CG lead character. Where do you start?
So if you're gonna create a fully digital character like She-Hulk, there's sort of two streams you're pursuing at the same time. The first is Viz Dev, which would be standard for any sort of CG character. We have a visual development department here at Marvel. They look at all the comic books and they look at how our story is telling her story. And then the other side of that is that we look at our casting. The important part of this is that we need to know what Tatiana looks like in order to be able to transform her in and out of She-Hulk. We in VFX subject her to a lot of scanning and photography.
That then goes to build stage. That goes through multiple steps of development, making the model look as real as possible, just in terms of like the physical proportions and the physical aspect of it.
So once you've done all of that digital work, you have Tatiana Maslany's performance. How do you pair the CG and her performance together?
We captured petabytes of data. It was absurd how much data we pulled off the set. We actually had a really big on-set VFX team just because we had so much data acquisition to do. When we're recording mocap and HMC on set, we've got several sets of data that we're actually kind of picking up. So the mocap data actually records not video, but it is straight data. And that is purely data that's recorded to a digital skeleton. So if you had walked over to the mocap brain bar while we were recording, you could see a little skeleton running around doing Tatiana's or Mark's performances, which is pretty wild.
Once you have all of that data and footage, how do you bring them together into a scene to create a realistic She-Hulk performance?
In order to make She-Hulk more lifelike, we always start with the animation first, because for a character like this, that's the foundation of everything that is to follow.
I mean, there are so many things that we consider when we're trying to make her feel as real as possible. We try to make it as close to what Tatiana did as possible and really see what the essence of each one of those performances is.
She-Hulk! 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 She-Hulk!
It's true. I am a Hulk.
And action!
Jennifer Walters is an attorney who has accidentally taken in the Hulk's blood and has become
like a chick Hulk.
A She-Hulk?
Exactly.
She-Hulk, attorney at law. That's got a nice ring to it.
That name better not stick.
There's something so surreal and so funny about a giant 6'7" Hulk in the courtroom.
It was about putting a real human being into these absurd situations.
It's just like as cool and edgy as we can get away with.
Girl, your ass looks crazy right now.
It's something that you think you knew, which is law shows, and something that you think you know, which is Marvel shows, smashed together.
This show is so much fun.
It all has this tongue-in-cheek, self-referential thing going on.
In the comics, she broke the fourth wall and was super meta.
Just want to make sure that you don't think this is one of those cameo every week type of shows. Well, except Bruce. And Blonsky. And Wong.
She spent all this time becoming a lawyer, and this idea of being a superhero is not appealing to her.
Being a superhero is a trial by fire.
Oh, I'm not a superhero. I just want to be a normal, anonymous lawyer.
There is no going back to what you were before. Who's gonna protect the world if not people like you?
This is expanding the definition of what a Marvel Studios production can be.
This is a radical revolutionary show.
Can we get some shots, please? It's an emergency.